Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy and we are hauling it tonight. So I have got stuff from, well, one thing from Whatnot, I have something from Etsy, I have a Temu haul, and I have a half-price book haul. So let's get started. Well, actually first, please don't complain about this nonsense, because if you saw my post while we were trapped down here during the tornado sirens last night, I started putting together the fixture that I got from Joann's going out of business sale, and that's forced me to just shove things places. But hopefully once it's all said and done, I do have some updated pictures. Let me put my do not disturb on though first. No, not sleep, do not disturb. Okay, so we're getting there. This is one side. I still need to put one more shelf on, and then this side I need to put two more shelves on. But what I discovered today as I was putting those things on is that I had intentionally chosen to get 2 small baskets, one for each side, and then 4 big baskets. And 2 of the baskets I discovered today are a wonky in between size, so they didn't have sides to fit. They had sides, but they weren't the right sides, and so trying to get it corrected, I realized these are not the same. So we ended up going back to Joann tonight. Luckily, they still had one small, because I needed one small and one large basket. Luckily, they did still have all of those pieces, although I may have gotten the last large one because there was a bunch of them kind of wrapped up in the back area because they'd been sold as a lot. But they had a lot of these small ones. So if I couldn't have found a large one, I would have just dealt with it and brought home a small one in replacement. But I'm glad we looked over the entire store, because these basket things, these are what I'm calling baskets. They have them all around the store on shelves, but the contraption that I bought was 2 feet wide, and most of the ones we were finding were longer than that. So we only found one that was 2 feet. So I guess I got lucky. I don't know. So I should be able to complete that and then start getting stuff. But I'm going to have, I think, a bin. One of the baskets will be for stuff from Temu, or the hauling stuff, to show you guys. And I'm going to have one for things I'm going to sell on Whatnot, and then one for things that need to get listed on Etsy. So, I'm kind of trying to use it to organize my thoughts and my life in terms of my Junk for Goats business and this one. So it's coming along, but of course, I just was shoving stuff places. It was already a mess, but now it's messier. But anyway, okay, so enough about that. Let's get started. I'm going to start with what I think will be my favorite thing in this video. And that is, let me not dox myself. Okay, well, so I got this, well, I probably just did dox myself. I got this box today, and it felt like air, and I couldn't figure out what it was, but it is from Sarai in Utah. Sarai, like Sarai in the Bible before she became Sarah. So this is the, this is the strawberry shortcake purse that I bought with my $10 of credit on Whatnot. And again, this didn't, I don't know if, because it still has the tag on it, so I'm really not sure if it was just missing the crossbody when she got it, but I've got a bunch of purse straps from Temu, so maybe I'll be able to find one that's just as cool or can go with this, some kind of red and white maybe. But I really like it. It is strawberry shortcake. It does still have the tag. I'm growing a collection of these tags now because Walmart and Five Below sell officially licensed strawberry shortcake things, and it looks like this is a decal, so it's perhaps it may peel over time. Let's hope not. But yeah, I don't mind that I've got to carry it like this because it's the kind of purse where I feel like that's okay. I mean, and the crossbody, I guess you would be clipping it to here if you had it, which is a little weird. But anyway, on the inside, it's got paper that I can use for my packing for my orders. But let's see if it's got any pockets. It's hard to get this out. It's a very stiff purse. Okay, so it comes with a silica packet. It does have a slip pocket. You won't be able to see it very well, but it does have a slip pocket. So this to me is not a very user-friendly purse because it's gonna hurt every time I try to get in there. So it's really just for the cuteness factor of it. But yeah, I'll look and see if I've got a strap that I think would work with it, and if I find one, maybe I'll try to remember to post a picture and post or show it in a future video. But yeah, I really like that. It's kind of a I don't know if you can kind of see the texture, and then that's neat on there. The World of Strawberry Shortcake. So yeah, so now I can wear my strawberry shortcake shirt, socks. I don't have glasses. They haven't come out with a licensed pair of, well, for my pair I wear them, which I'm not wearing tonight, but I do have earrings, strawberry earrings. So yeah, so one day I can bring on my 80s child inner self. So I paid $10 in credits for this on Whatnot, and if you're not sure what Whatnot is, you can check the link in my description below for my link tree, and you can see how you can download the Whatnot app with my code, which will give you $15 to spend on Whatnot auctions, and gives me $5 if you, okay, well, let me take it back. You have to actually use your $15, and once your items get shipped, then I get $5. So yeah, so I had two people that did that, and my husband and just Jen. And so there was my $10 of how I spent that. All right, next is my Etsy order. Maybe I showed this already, you guys. It's terrible. I don't think I did, but if I did, just humor me, okay? But I ordered this. Now, I had ordered one of these off of Etsy over a year ago, and I promptly cut it apart because that is kind of what I do with books, right? I cut it apart to sell. But the pages are so special, and I was like, Amy, you need to have one of these in your permanent collection. Now, I don't know if that's just an excuse for people like me to hoard more by saying, oh, this needs to go in my permanent collection. I need to have a copy of this for all time. It probably is just an excuse, but Seven Plaza says it, so I think I'm okay. But anyway, if you're not familiar, Edith Holden, she was turn of the century, 1900s. She wrote a diary. This is her diary from 1906, and they found it years later, I think after she died, and published it. But she wrote, so everything is handwritten, and she drew flowers mostly, I think. There may be some birds. Yeah, there's birds and stuff too, which are like my favorite things. And so this particular copy is from 1977, which I believe is the first year that this was published. There are some other titles that kind of go with this, which I don't have and would like to get at some point. But there are later versions of this, but they're not quite as cool. Well, they're just not as old, I guess that's what I should say. So this has, you know, coloring of the pages, which I really like. So each month she's got images, and she's also got, she mentioned like puts lists of holidays for that month in there. But you guys, she was a great artist. Now, she had a sad ending. She like drowned trying to get chestnuts or something. Now I don't remember, but it was like something that made sense for the kind of person that she was with her nature and stuff. But yeah, I don't know if she got swept away. I don't know. I didn't read that much into it. But yeah, it's all handwritten. So it's just a beautiful book. And for those of you that are crafty and follow some of the YouTube creators out of the Netherlands and Europe, they all love this book. And just to say, Europe has better books for all that kind of stuff. So I get jealous. I found on TikTok, or maybe it was Instagram. Actually, I think it was Instagram. This shop that she's got the most awesome books that I would like for my business, but she's in Thailand. And her TikTok shop, I think it's a TikTok shop for her. So maybe I've seen her on both. I don't know. But yeah, it's not open for residents of the US. So I've like favorited her shop and stuff so that all of her posts come into my feed. And I just have to live vicariously because there's so many great field guides and that kind of thing created outside of the country. Okay, Temu. We'll come back to books later for those people that want to bounce. Now, this stuff is local warehouse, so we're not doing prices. And I finally placed an order the other night because I got a deal where they would give me $20 off of $50, which is 40% off, which is about the best I've ever seen. I think the Fishland game would give you a 40% off coupon, but you guys, they took away my Fishland, and I had enough fish food to finish the game, but I was tired of of feeding the fish, so I had just kind of let the stuff there, and now Fishland is no longer available to me, which really stunk. But I still have farmland, but I'm not really playing it because I'm not ordering anything, and it's kind of hard to play those games if you're not ordering. So, and again today, they are trying to give me $20 off of $50, which is a good deal and helps offset the shipping costs related to local warehouses. Oh, and actually for this, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I did this deal, and after I did this deal, they gave me a free gift if I would order one more time. And the free gift was a decent price range. I mean, it's not great. I mean, it would be just cheaper to just have bought the thing. But I went ahead and did that, and you had to spend $25 to hit the shipping limit. But you guys, these things were from different local warehouses, so I'm not sure what the deal was, except that it was free shipping on that. So it was all local warehouse, but I didn't have to pay any of the shipping for that. So that was nice. Now, what I will say is that I still predominantly have local warehouse items on my feed, but I do have the occasional item that is not. But here's what freaks me out a little bit. When I go to my cart, it says no import charges for all local warehouse items and no extra charges upon delivery for local warehouse. So that makes me feel like there could still be some of that going on with old Temu, across the ocean Temu. So I am not ready to try ordering old Temu or regular Temu stuff yet, because it's, when I've put regular things in my cart, it doesn't say there's any import charges, but it also doesn't say that there's no post delivery fees either. So I'm just kind of, I'm gonna wait a little till that's settled a little bit more, I guess. So this stuff is all local warehouse, no prices, and we'll just go from there. And I apologize, this is either going to be coming out really late because it is already 9 o'clock Central Time, and I just keep talking and not showing stuff. So by the time this uploads, it's either going to be really late tonight or it'll be Wednesday. All right, so the first thing we have is a pair of pants. These are like slick, silky slick kind of pants, and they're great for lounging around the house because they are kind of a little bit see-through. So these lighter, but I really like this pattern. So Jason orders these, and I really need to tell him to order me like matching ones when he gets these, because yeah, I could use some pants to just wear around the house. So I like the colors of these, even though I'm not a big orange fan. And yeah, I think would be nice, especially in the warmer months. I think these would feel kind of cooling. Although I've been freezing today, my nose is red. I'm so tired. I'm so behind at work. Why aren't I just working tonight then? Because I'm so tired and I needed a break. So let's come on here and film a video. But really, I should, after I'm done filming this video, I should take my work computer upstairs and while I'm watching TV, do some more work. But I don't want to. So yesterday, my dad and I were able to get my mom to leave the house. There are some laws that have changed recently in Missouri. Well, I don't know how recently. This is not my finances. This is my parents' finances. But they have a trust, and so there were some things that needed to be done. And so we decided we'd take my mom along and get her out of the house, and we actually got her out of the house. But you guys, when I was walking over there yesterday morning, there was a group of church people walking around the neighborhood, and a lot of them, like maybe they'd come in a church van, and they had split up in two. So I don't know if they were Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know if they were Mormons. I think the only other people that walk around in our neighborhoods are Baptists. So it's probably one of those three. But I'm like, oh man, this is probably because as I was walking to my parents' house, these two of these ladies were at my parents' door, and I think they'd already knocked. So I like kind of beelined it through the yard even and got up there, and I said, I'm so sorry, but we are getting ready to leave for a meeting. Maybe you could come back later. And they were very nice, and I was wearing So I wore this shirt yesterday. I guess I'm telling on myself. I was wearing this shirt. So hopefully that created some goodwill, and they were very kind and gave me their names and said that they didn't even say they would be back. And usually I don't think when these groups are going around, I don't think they go back to neighborhoods. I think they just do what they can and then they move on. But when I got inside the house, it had kind of scared my mom. She was trying to figure out if she needed to get under the bed, kind of scariness or whatever. So I kind of got her calmed down, and my dad was, looking for stuff for this meeting, and I said, we're going to go on a trip, and somehow that worked. I just kept saying, yeah, we're going to go on a trip, and, get in the car and go on a trip. And we did. And she went, and for the most part was okay. She did get kind of distracted she's very interested in the number of black cars that drive by. Haven't been able to figure out why that is, but she counts them sometimes in the morning as they're going by on the closest main road to our neighborhood. It doesn't count the white cars or the gray cars or any of that. It's only the black cars. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but while we were at the place getting the stuff done, there was a window where you could see the highway. And so there was a couple times where she kind of started counting the cars and stuff. But aside from that, I think she likes being out. It's the getting her to the vehicle that is the problem. Once she's in the car, she's fine, and everything's new because she doesn't really remember anything around us. But so it's just sad that we can't convince her more often, and maybe the key is saying we're going on a trip. Maybe it's not, do you want to go out and get ice cream? Maybe it's like, we're going on a trip. And because of that, I was able to say, so you might want to go brush your hair. And she did go brush her hair. And I said, do you want to change clothes? And she's like, what? You don't think I look good? So there's still some humor, in there. And yeah, so that's my mom update for this week. All right, next shirt. What does that say? Stronger than the storm. Oh, I like that. With a cross for the T. Stronger than the storm. This is a 100% cotton t-shirt. Okay, so one of the things that I ordered yesterday or the day before from Temu to get my free gift was 3 t-shirts. And I was kind of disappointed because they're coming from local warehouse, which means they're going to be cotton, and which means they're going to be rough. There's very few soft shirts that come from local warehouse for some reason. I know you can get soft cotton, but we have not found them yet. But yeah, this is super long too. And it is a men's 5XL. But it has a decent, well, no, I guess it is kind of the decal, some of the decals from the local warehouses also are not as great as, I mean, admittedly, some of the decals from overseas Temu are not very good either, but like this one is an excellent decal, and it's a super soft polyester shirt. And I'm saying it because this is a Temu shirt. And but yeah, some of them are just not as good. All right. There's, I think all of the little things are in the bottom of this bag. So I guess we're just going to do a bunch of t-shirts here at the beginning. So talk about crazy weather. St. Louis did have a tornado that, you guys, some people were filming the tornado from the top of the arch because you could see it come through. You've probably seen all the videos on TikTok and the news, but it was a super wide tornado, I think, but they said it was the worst tornado in St. Louis for a long time. I mean, like the city. So it was a little bit south of us. And then, I don't remember what day that was, I guess. But then last night, the sirens went off again. And we had some really heavy rain, but thankfully no damage either time. Nashville, Tennessee. So that's cute. So we went on our favorite place to go anywhere. Okay, this is a little bit damaged here, but it probably won't matter. But it is scorched almost. It has a little tear in it. I'm sure he probably won't care enough to send it back. But our favorite place to go is the Gaylord Hotel in Nashville. And it's right by the Opry Mills Mall. And you can take a, what do they call it? A bus, not a bus. Well, you can catch a ride from the hotel. The hotel takes their van or whatever back and forth from to the mall multiple times a day. And we had gotten, the rest of the family had gotten Nashville shirts, but he didn't, so he was trying to get one. And it again is 100% cotton and 5XL. But yeah, I love that hotel. It's pricey. So the first time we went there, it was a work trip, and we were able to just all of us stay in one room. That doesn't seem like that was supposed to, my guess is that really wasn't allowed. But, and maybe we had 2 rooms. I know a couple of the times we stayed there, we had 2 rooms because there were 6 of us. But so I only had to pay for 1 room. And all of my meals were covered. My room was covered. My transportation was covered. And we drove our van so everybody could come. And then while I was in my conference and stuff, then Jason and the kids would go to the mall, and there's so many things to do there at the hotel. So yeah, it's, I don't know, it feels like walking into another world, and it's just so pretty, and so many flowers and trees and bushes on the inside. It's just gorgeous. All right, no Jesus, no peace. No Jesus, no peace. So I like that too. And again, 5XL, 100% cotton. So I do like that Temu has, no matter what your hobbies are, or your, or if you're a sarcastic person or a thoughtful person or both or whatever, they have every kind of t-shirt imaginable, because I think a lot of the drop ship t-shirt people sell through there. So you can pretty much find just about anything. It's in my DNA. It's in my DNA. Sorry, I'm trying to read this backwards. So yeah, so that's a cool one too. I've got a theme going on. But I will say, Jason was the kind of person that once he got to be a certain age, he didn't really, his like body shape didn't really change, so he kept all of his clothes, and he finally gave away a bunch of clothes to charity. So now he's, you know, restocking. All right, Temu's also a great place to get Legos. So we have a Lego set to build this cool truck. And these are the normal size Legos. So they do have the mini. We've accidentally gotten some of the mini that are like you need tweezers and magnifying glasses to put together. But these are normal. And so you get the book and everything is in packets. So then the book walks you through how to make it. So just about everybody in the family loves making these little kits. I was watching on TikTok or Instagram, and there was this house that had a basement, and it was just like all Legos, all the different Legos on display. And I think I was seeing it because somebody was having to go in and do some electrical work. And so they had to kind of move some of the shelves around maybe. But yeah, I mean, like all the cool sets. So Jason's really disappointed that he didn't get the Big Bang Theory set when it was out. I mean, he has like big regrets for not having gotten that. But this guy would have had that, you know, all the Star Wars Friends, all the Office, you know, all the non-kid versions of things, and probably even the kid ones too, who knows. But yeah, it was crazy. But it's a great pastime that keeps you off of your screens and gives you, you know, it's like nowadays the kids always want money for Roblox or something like that, and it's like I hate that because they have nothing to show for that afterwards. It's like buying a lottery ticket that doesn't win. Like, okay, well, I guess I had the experience for the 5 seconds that it took me to do whatever, and then it's like gone. So I really hate those kind of things. And usually we'll tell the kids no unless it's their birthday. Okay, next we've got, okay, have you guys seen these Bitty Pops? So if you're familiar with Pops, well, these are the Bitty version. And I don't know. I don't think these came from Temu. Like, they don't have Temu tags on it. And I know he buys these at, you can buy these just about everywhere, like at Walmart. So they're just tiny, miniature, bitty Pops. So here we've got, plus there's a mystery. I'm not going to open these because I know he'll want to. But you get 4 of them. So this one is Harry Potter. We've got Lord Voldemort, Draco Malfoy, and Bellatrix Lestrange. So those are the ones he knew he was getting. And then there's a 4th one. And it's just like the regular ones. It tells you how rare they are on the back, and you collect them. It's crazy. But then, have you guys also heard that kids are now skateboarding with their fingers? So Gregory is learning how to do skateboarding tricks with his fingers. Like, should we be surprised that this generation would find yet another way to be super lazy? Because this is a generation that likes to watch YouTubers play games instead of them playing the games themselves. So now we've got hand skateboarding. All right, here we've got Dragon Ball Z, and we've got Gohan, Goku, and Kaio. Goku is my husband's favorite character. He wanted to name all of our kids Goku, and, well, that just didn't happen. And then this one is another Harry Potter. We've got Albus Dumbledore, Nearly Headless Nick, and Minerva McGonagall. Oh, McGonagall. McGonagall. The teacher. Is that right? Yes, I think so. Played by the one lady that just died, that was also in the one, shoot, the time period show in England with the upstairs, like upstairs, downstairs, only it was nothing is coming to my mind right now except Dumbledore, so that's great. So she was like super, I want to say Janice, but that is not right. Okay, so I have to call, I have to, sometimes I just have to look things up because it will drive me crazy. So, easiest way is to look up Harry Potter, since that's the known quantity at the moment. And Maggie Smith, yes. Professor McGonagall. So Maggie Smith, she just died in September, last September. And the other show that I couldn't think of was not Gosford Park, although I did like that show. I pretty much like any kind of British thing like that. Downton Abbey. Ugh. Okay. That was our modern day TV trivia. So we will get to nostalgic TV trivia in a little bit. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think those probably came from Temu. All right, then we've got a ring. Oh, Van Gogh. All right, what's this one called? I'm not going to look it up, but Midnight? Darn it, I don't know. It's late, you guys. I was hoping it was going to say on here, but it just says 12. So it is a size 12 ring. And I at least remembered the Van Gogh part. Okay, one more thing from Temu. Well, I probably already did, and I'm going to be too tired to white it out. But I probably feel the same way as Erin on Hey Everybody, and would prefer people not know where I live. That's why I have my P.O. box, just because I have kids. And I think that would be scary for them to know that strangers know where they live. I have no idea what this is. Not opening it very well. Got Memorial Day coming up. I was mistaken and thought that Gabby graduated this Saturday, but it's the next Saturday. So this weekend will just be a nice, relaxing weekend, I hope. Aww. Well, this is adorable. This is awesome. So this is a mushroom house. Look at that. Huge box. And it's got stuff for the inside of the house. That's cool. Maybe this should be my thumbnail picture instead. So just like, so there's 2,200 pieces in this set. And just like those little sets, this would have an instruction booklet and all the pieces. So yeah, that is cool. Now see, this is why I like Temu, because you can get, I mean, other people are, you know, create cool things too. Now, some stuff is stolen and we don't want to talk about that, but I think some people really do create other things, competitive things. Speaking of that, have you guys seen on TikTok the apothecary book? Sorry, my throat is bothering me. But there's this apothecary book on TikTok that's got like herbal remedies. And they're saying that's one of the reasons why the US doesn't want TikTok in America, is because you'll have access to, well, it's the same old thing people say about X and all that stuff. You have access to alternative information that may be valuable and may help you get out from under the pharmaceutical nonsense that we're in this country. So I ordered a copy of that. And I think one of the examples that I saw in one of the videos was cutting up an onion, putting it in a glass jar and pouring honey on it. And then after it kind of macerates and dissolves a little, then you pour out the liquid, and the liquid is then the good stuff that you use for, I don't know what particular ailment they were using this for, probably some kind of respiratory thing, I don't know. But so yeah, so I want to see, because I have all kinds of problems and I take medications which then cause other problems. So I'd like to see if there are some healthier things that I could be doing. So that is coming. So I do have more Temu to haul in a future video, and I do have more books. I've got kind of went book crazy again, but I brought down one bag of the books just to show you real quick my more in-depth book flip throughs are done on my Junk for Goats channel. So if you're interested in that kind of thing and some kind of soothing background music while I flip through books, head over there and subscribe. And I won't bore you with that level of detail on this channel, but this is a haul channel and it's a book haul. So now I'm gonna show you what I did get. So I told you guys that I had gotten one of these and cut it up without thinking, and it was probably the oldest one that I'd ever had. So I decided I was going to keep one for my collection, and as I find new ones, I'll just keep whatever the oldest one is. But yeah, I was kind of bummed because it was an older one. But I found these today, half-price books, and I love these Golden Guide books. I have a listing on my Etsy shop right now for a lot of different paper packs from these. And then I found 2 tree ones, which were cheaper than the birds. These were only $2.99. And this, it's funny because this one is discolored, but they're the same book. So I'll probably keep this one just because this is more the authentic color. And these are a little bit newer. These are from the 80s, and this one I think is from the 50s. So found those. I love finding those. I really do want to collect that entire series. Another series I want to collect is the Instant Guide series. And I showed a butterfly one of these on my channel, my Junk for Goats channel, but it is great. I love that. And it was only $1.99. So that's another series. I've got a few of these now. I think I've got butterflies. I found another one recently, but now I can't remember what it was. And I guess I should have shown you like inside this tree one. So these are just fun to craft with. And then this is the first time this is another series, Peterson's Field Guides. I also like Peterson's Instant Guides, but this is the first time I found the wildflower one, and which shows because it was $8.99. And I've seen like the birds and the trees and stuff versions of these, but yeah, I love these. So I've started a list because I'm not supposed to be buying anything anymore. So I've started an Amy's wish list. And I suppose if I can sell so much stuff, I can buy something off the wish list if I can find it. Or, you know, if my family finds it when they're at the bins or something. Then I found this one. I'd never seen this one before, and it was kind of expensive at 10 bucks. But it has 650 illustrations, 350 of them are in color. But honestly, it's the non-color ones that I liked about this. So you open it up, and of course it's got photographs. I don't really like photographs. I don't know why, I just don't. But the other side, now granted, this goes with this, so once I take it apart, it's all separated. But I like this side better. And the fact that there's 2 per page is awesome to me. So this will be a future project for my Junk for Goats channel. Then I love Telltale books. And so I've also thought about putting some of these in my permanent collection, but I don't like these quite as much as I like the Rand McNally Elf books or Junior Elf books. And I found some Junior Elf books at this shop, this particular half-price books, but they were expensive. Like there's one half-price books that's kind of over where the tornadoes hit over on Delmar that just has better prices. They have better selection, better prices. The one that these came from is just not as good, but I had never seen this one. So I thought this one was only a couple bucks. So it's just precious. So I always like looking in I look in the children's section, the flowers, and the nature, because that's usually where I find the birds and the insects, butterflies, all that kind of stuff. So then I found this one for 2 bucks. It's a coloring book, so it's got inside the covers, it's got, you know, colored images, but like that. But I really like these pages, the coloring pages themselves. So those will be neat in my botanical ephemera packs. And then, you guys, I found some Raggedy Ann. I'm always on the hunt for Raggedy Ann because that's super popular. And I didn't realize this, but let me see if this book has it in the back. So these are by Johnny Gruel or Gruel. I don't know how he pronounces this, but he says it says the Gruel Ideal. It is the Gruel ideal that books for children should contain nothing to cause fright, suggest fear, glorify mischief, excuse malice, or condone cruelty. That is why they are called books good for children. And we are so missing that in today's society because they are pushing that violence, that mischief, that all that stuff younger and younger. They're doing it in Disney films that every kid wants to watch. And it's just so I appreciate that about these. And they've got this great artwork, and I don't know how many of these books there are, but in this series or whatever, but I think these would make really cool journals because of these covers. I found a couple of those, but I think, well, here's the other one. And just love finding, I love it. And these are from, I think, the 60s, maybe. This one was also $5. 61. Both of them were 61. So they had another one there in the same series, but they wanted 10 for it, so I left that one there. And then, you guys, this is one of my all-time favorite children's books. So whenever I find one in good condition, I'm compelled to buy it. And this was only $3, but it's an I Can Read book. So I'm thinking about having a listing on my shop for I Can Read books. And this is pure nostalgia for me. I don't know why this was one of my favorite books, but I would check it out from the school library constantly. And I just loved it. I loved it so much. So, and I feel like they still make this one. Like, I think you could still find this in a Barnes & Noble, but of course, I don't know if they've a lot of times they update like they replace the illustrations with new ones, and those aren't as good. I hate it when they do that. But these Harper and Row, I think I'm gonna, which I think just does, an I Can Read book. I think I'm gonna have a section of those on my Etsy shop. And then I found my favorite atlas, $5.99. It's in terrible shape on the outside, but the inside is just fine. I love these because it's a good size piece of paper and there's no borders, and it's matte. And yeah, so I love this specific one. This is the second one I found, and I fell in love with the first one, and I would buy this every time I saw it if the price was reasonable, and I thought $6 was reasonable. So yeah, so many atlases are glossy for one, and they have borders. And I don't know, if you're gonna craft with a map, don't want to have to deal with a border, personally. And then the last book, just because it's the biggest, is this book, Wildflower Gardening. Now they have, this is a Time Life book, so there's a ton of these in these kind of stores and at Goodwills and stuff, and some of them are okay, some of them are eh. This one has a lot. Well, what's the year on this one? The older ones are better than the newer ones. This one is 1977, so that's probably why I liked it. But it's got, this is not bad. Actually, I hadn't even seen this page. This is not bad, so I wouldn't mind cutting these out. But it was the ones in the back so there's lots of photographs. But in the back, then you get to these. This is what I like. Now it does have like a description of them over here, but they don't always line up to where you could cut it straight across. Like you can see here, it starts up. So my guess is when I cut this down, it's just gonna be for the pictures. So anytime I can find plates or pictures like this, I just love it. I love it so much. So yeah, so that was the book haul. I have many more book hauls to do, which I should do that on Thursday for Thrifty Haul Thursday. So that's the end of the haul. Let's do some nostalgic TV trivia and get everybody on their way or back to sleep or whatever, since I don't know when this will come out. All right, you ready? Nostalgic TV trivia. This trivia game, if you're brand new here, welcome, is from 1984. All right, who is famous for his man on the street interview? Name the Palmolive manicurist who often has her clients' fingers soaking. Name the TV detective who liked Tootsie Roll Pops. Once a week, what product are we told should be put in every drain? In what town did the action in The Edge of Night take place? What long-running soap revolves around the Hughes family? He was featured on 60 Minutes before becoming a news anchorman. Who portrayed Meathead on All in the Family? All right, you guys, this is a hard card. Who is famous for his man on the street interview? Well, I have no idea. Is this talking news or is this like Johnny Carson kind of man on the street? Because you know how a lot of the comedy shows nowadays have a man on the street, but let's just say it's real news. And I'm going to say Dan Rather because I think, I don't know, he was with CBS. He probably didn't do anything like that. That's probably a really bad answer. But who else could I say? Man on the street interview. I don't know. So I'm just guessing and I'm just throwing it out there, Dan Rather. Name the Palmolive manicurist who often has her clients' fingers soaking. Well, I can see her face. She was on so many commercials, but I don't know what her name was. Like, would it have been a, well, not Palmy, that would be dumb. But shoot, I don't know. Or was it, are they just talking about the actress's name? I don't know. Name the TV detective who liked Tootsie Roll Pops. Okay. I'm going to say Columbo, but it could be something like Kojak. You know what I mean? But I feel like there were some Columbos where he had a Tootsie Roll Pop, but maybe not. He smoked, which isn't the same thing. So I don't know. I think I'll be surprised with that one. Once a week, what product are we told should be put in every drain? Well, I don't know. I'm just going to say Drano because I don't know what else they would have said. I mean, back then they probably didn't know what was corrosive to if you had iron pipes and stuff. So I'm just going to say Drano. In what town did the action in The Edge of Night take place? Well, you always are supposed to say Springfield for these kind of shows. So we'll say Springfield. What long-running soap revolves around the Hughes family? Well, I don't know. And I want to say the soap that Benson came off of, but I think that one was just called Soap. So it's probably, it's not Days of Our Lives. The Hughes family was not on there, but it could be all my children. I mean, I don't know. I didn't watch any of those. So I don't know if Soap was still around. Well, it probably was, but I don't know if that was considered a long-running soap. Should I say it's Soap but then come up with a backup? I guess for my backup I'll say All My Children because I don't know. He was featured on 60 Minutes before becoming a news anchorman. Well, can I say Dan Rather for that one too? 60 Minutes, CBS, he was CBS. So I'm just gonna make all my answers Dan Rather for this card. Who portrayed Meathead on All in the Family? Well, that was Rob Reiner. So, okay. Who is famous for his man on the street interview? Steve Allen. Steve Allen is the other name that I'm always saying you always have, because he did the Tonight Show before Johnny Carson. Darn it. Okay, well, now I know. See, it was comedy, not real. Name the Palmolive manicurist who often has her clients' fingers soaking. Madge. Yes. Ugh. Okay, name the TV detective who liked Tootsie Roll Pops. It was Kojak. Now, can I have a half a point for that? I'm taking a half a point. It's house rules. All right. Once a week, what product are we told should be put in every drain? Drano. So, okay, well, that was the obvious one, right? In what town did the action in The Edge of Night take place? Either Monticello or Monticello. All right, what long-running soap revolves around the Hughes family? You guys probably knew it. It's As the World Turns. He was featured on 60 Minutes before becoming a news anchorman. It was Dan Rather. And who portrayed Meathead on All in the Family? It was Rob Reiner. So I got a half a point for Kojak. I got Drano. I got Dan Rather and Rob Reiner. So I got 3.5 points. That's pretty good for me. Let me know how you did in the comments below. And let me do a quick shout out. Oh, you guys, we've gone through all of we've gone through all of the blue side of the cards. So now we get to start the brown side of the cards next episode. Oh, what are we gonna do? I guess we'll have to switch to one of the other ones that I have like that. I will probably really stink at those. All right, let me get into my studio. I'm only down 5 subscribers today. Better than being down 6. All right. I think I go over here because I never remember. All right. So technically, I'm not supposed to thank everybody, but I have 7 members, so I'm going to thank them all. I have Miss Mary, I have KT, Julie, Favorites with Laura, Darlene, Hey Everybody, and Pam. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. And thank you to everybody who watches and comments and subscribes and likes. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you enjoyed this Chit Chat Festival. And wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day. And until we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye.